And this morning we want to have a sit down to talk about it. We want to discuss some of these things and see how it affects you, how it affects me, as a single person, as a married man, a married woman, a bachelor, or a spinster. So, we are going to be having a representative of these different people that I've mentioned here, because no matter who you are in this gathering, is either you are married or you are single, as a man or a woman, you can't be in the middle. So, I'm going to be calling up here 4 people. So once I call them, just help me put your hands together to, appreciate them and encourage them. So we'll start from the man. We'll be calling up a married man to give us a married man perspective on what we'll be discussing today. Please help me welcome Brodele Ashaju. As you can see, he's dressed like a man and he's coming like a man. Now, man, you be. All right. Now we'll be getting the view of a mommy of the house, right? So we'll be calling somebody that's a mother to us all here and also a mother to the church. Please help me welcome Pastor IT. All right. And then, can't you see the All right. So we are left with 2 young, able-bodied single man and woman. So please help me welcome Bro Gideon, our able bachelor. Our able bachelor. You are doing well. Just look at now. Somebody's son. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, then help me welcome Ebu. What is it called? Spinster. Yes. Please help me welcome Sister Ogechi Israel. As in, what do you guys call it? A speck. Speck. No. A butte. Look at, clap now, butte. All right. You're welcome. So, good morning. Can we get a microphone for them? Oh, all right. Thank you very much, Martins. All right. So, the first question I want to ask the married couple, our daddy and our mommy. So, we'll call you the daddy, we'll call you the mommy, we'll call you the brother and the sister. Yes, that's how we have labeled you today. All right. Starting from you, our daddy. Let me go back to what I was talking about. Now, I want to ask the first question. What has the experience been like, being a married person, when you got into the journey, when you started and now? What has the experience really been like for you as a married man?
Well, it's been interesting. It's been good. Hello. It's been interesting. It's been good. It's been awesome. It's been great. My wife has been tremendously wonderful and very supportive.
All right. Please, you forgive me. I'm a very emotional person. So I'll be emotional and all. All right. So, yes, one more question. I'm going to be asking like 2 questions. So, because today we're talking about bliss, I want to ask you, what's your definition of bliss? Using your marriage as a leverage or a standard to measure bliss. What would you refer bliss to be? What would you want to call bliss? What's bliss for you?
Okay, well, for me, from my perspective, bliss is, being happy, being joyous, and that I can say without no regret that I've enjoyed in my marriage of 14 years. So it's something that, I see almost every day in my marriage. Yeah, there's some, downside or something, but above all, we enjoyed marital bliss.
Okay, all right. Just one thing I want to ask. Hope you're not saying this because it's your anniversary. All right. Let's have our mommy. The same question. Yes.
Praise the Lord. Okay, so for the first question, I would say that it's been interesting, a lot of learning to do, a lot of growing up to do. So I would say that as we get older, we are actually getting better. Yeah, and I think last year, or I don't know if it was 2 years ago or last year, we marked our first almost 1 year without a single misunderstanding. And that for me, I think is growth.
All right, okay, thank you very much. So how about bliss?
Bliss for me is not perfection, but it is genuinely and sincerely happy and being able to maximize each other's strength in the union. So I think for me, beyond me being happy, I need to find out if my spouse is actually happy. And that's why I don't understand why people do marriage without sitting down to review the progress they are making.
All right, thank you very much for that. So I'm going to move to our brother and our sister. And the question I want to ask is because I know that you're anticipating to get married. Might not be, you are planning to get married, right? Maybe, let me know. All right. So I want to ask, what exactly are your expectations towards marriage? What are you expecting? Oh, I'm going to get married. These are the things that I want to have. These are the things that I expect her to do. These are the things I expect to do myself. So let me start from Ogechi.
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
Okay, as a single lady, I know I have expectations, okay, but from the advice I've gotten so far, let me start by saying that I picture having a good marriage. I picture having a marriage as in heaven on earth. And I know I have expectations though, but at some point I've just given a border to know that expectations, my expectations should not be unrealistic, should not be unmet expectations. So I have my part to play. I have my partner also have his part to play, but at the same time it comes to the level of reason and maturity the both of us has. So I have a good picture of marriage, and with God help, I know I will do well. Praise God.
You have answered this thing politically. You didn't tell us the expectation. You just told us that you have expectations.
Okay. I expect, one of my expectations is that there are a lot of, what do I call it? There are lots of advices, lots of experiences. I expect that in my marriage, what I have heard, what I know I would do, in the sense that I'll be a good wife, my expectations, I'll be a good wife, and my partner will be a good husband. I expect that I'll be submissive, and he himself also will be submissive. I expect that a home or a house, a building, would not just be called a house, but a house that will be called a home to live in. So those are my expectations.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, Bro Gideon, let's hear you.
So my expectations are fun, a family or a marriage where we go on vacations, a family.
Ladies. Go on.
a family where we eat food, the two kinds of food. And
preach.
Yeah, and a submissive wife, obviously, and myself to express love that that means sacrifice.
Esa, I put it to you. You are deep. All right. Okay. So real quick, our daddy, can you tell us the reality in this is expectations? What's the reality?
Well, the reality is that when you get into marriage, you would then find out that it's totally different from what your expectations would probably have been, because circumstances and some challenges or some things will creep in, and they would probably want to alter, in quotes, the foundations that you think you have laid. And so when those things come, there are certain things that would help you to get through those things. So, like he said sacrifices. Well, the question is how well or how deep can you sacrifice certain things? That's the first question. And what kind of sacrifices are you referring to? Obviously, it's actually supposed to be, total in all. But there are some times that you may not be able, you may really want to sacrifice, but it may be extremely difficult. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. One of the things that myself and my wife had as a discussion before we got married was this: never go to bed without saying sorry. And then that we've had for over 14 years. We probably might get into arguments or have, something to tackle all through the day, but we had never gone to bed without sorting that issue. Till date, we have never. So, and from her, I have learned to, sacrifice my ego as a man. So most times, she keeps telling me, you're very quick to say sorry. All these sanguine people. So when there's an issue, the first thing I tell her is, I'm so sorry. She's like, does that mean you won't do it again? Do you understand? So sometimes it is not intentional. Sometimes my sanguine nature overrides that seriousness sometimes. And I quickly forgot that I just offended this lady. So I'm at it again. So I think she also had come to live with that. Like,
Okay.
So that's a sacrifice.
Thank you very much for putting light on that reality. And let's have Pastor Iti also. She had mentioned that a submissive husband is submissive. So please, can you tell us the reality in that?
Wow, very, very, very interesting session. Okay, so first I would say that one reality that I realized after I got married was that not all my expectations will be met. Before I got married to my husband, anyone who knew him then in Daystar would know that he used to do a lot of spoken word. He was so popular in Daystar. When they had a popular any major program events, he's going to do the spoken word and all of that. And I'm sure some people who are here today don't even know that my husband used to do spoken word. When we were going to get married, when we started the relationship, and even after we got married, I think I was still in Akwa Ibom, and then he sent me a letter. He sent me his picture and wrote something at the back. I've kept that picture till date. But that's the last letter I have received. Yeah, and this was something that's... Now, this was something that's... Hello? Do you even want me to come here and be packaging? I'm saying how it is now.
Thank you very much.
Now, this is something that getting married, I thought I was going to have an overdose of it, If he was this good on stage, I imagine when he's talking to me, But it has not happened like that. But I've also realized that there are a lot of other things I didn't know he would do that he has done. So I've chosen to overlook the ones I was expecting that I didn't get. For instance, some sweet things he writes about me, or he tells people about me, or he's talking, his wife is always in the picture. And I chose to change my perspective and focus on those. So I would say for anyone who has expectations, have your expectations, but know that, one, not all your expectations will be met. And then two, in having your expectations, find out how can I make it possible for this person to meet these expectations. So if you're expecting a submissive wife, how can I make submission easy for her? It starts by you first being willing to submit in some areas. So that's what I would say.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. That was very profound. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to start from you again. So, of course, you know that online there are some questions that have been asked by ladies. And we want to put some of them out here. You will be the representative of the men to answer those questions. Okay. So the first question I want to ask is this. Sorry, my glass is not working. All right. Dear men, helping your wife at home will not reduce you. So I want to ask, why is it difficult for men to assist their wives in chores? Don't worry. We'll ask them. So why is it difficult? Why does it seem odd to say, please help me take out the trash, or go and help me warm the stew? What's the issue here?
Well, I mean, it's subject to my opinion.
All right.
I think it's also the way men are being wired. I think that also, maybe one of the, reasons why men believes that certain things are for the women to do at home. I think so. Yeah. A typical, an average man believes that, look, I'm supposed to go out, go get the money, and then, do all the supplies, while you do all the production, and then make it happen. That's sometimes. But above all, I think you need to understand your wife's love language. Okay, I'll try and be very practical. Somebody like my wife, she sometimes may not necessarily want you to do all those things for her, but she just wants you to stand and be looking at her.
Why she's doing it.
And sometimes I'm like, we're not in the barracks. You know, so she might be like, stand beside me, she's trying to do the laundry, and like, I'm not doing anything. She just be putting her, you be standing, and she'll be talking, and you know, to me, it doesn't make sense to me. But importantly, you need to make sense out of it. It needs to make sense to you. Because that's what she understands. I mean, she loves quality time. So, but to you, I mean, to me, I'm not doing anything. But to her, I'm doing a lot of things by standing by her. And sometimes even when I'm on the bed, she's like, I've been in the kitchen since. You're just on your system. It will be catching me in the kitchen if I come to the kitchen. But you know, sometimes I don't just say it out. So, but I think it's understanding your wife's love language and trying to fill in that gap in order that she wants the course to be done at home.
All right. Okay. So, thank you very much for that. Gideon, this one is for you. A lot of single guys seem to be slow to commit themselves to a relationship. They keep the lady hanging for so long. Why?
I think we should ask them. Okay, but let me say what I think. Let me say what I think, right?
All right.
I feel a lot of people are afraid to take responsibility. I feel like, and I think this is what differentiates Christianity from several religions, right? Other religions, you have to do something before you're accepted. In Christianity, you are accepted, and then you are helped to do what you are supposed to do. And I think a lot of men are on the other side. They want to accept someone who is perfect.
All right. And then I would also ask you, Ogechi, this question. Now, they said it looks like ladies are always very anxious to get married. They want to get married very fast. Like, let's just get married now. Why? Why don't you guys, calm down, be calming down? Why? Why are you in a hurry to get married?
Okay. Except for a lady that wants to become a sister. Or wants to be, as in join the convent. But in every lady, as in our desire is someday get married. But the part of saying that we are anxious to get married, I don't understand. I really do not understand.
The marriage is hungering you now.
Okay, probably for the ones that are actually at that marriageable age, and they feel that there is a delay or something. Maybe that's where the anxiousness comes in. But telling me that the lady is hungering to get married, I think it's the man himself that is trying not to commit himself. You get? So there's a balance to that question. Praise God.
All right. Okay. Now, thank you very much for that answer. And it looks like a lot of ladies. Okay, Pastor IT. This one is for you. Now, there's this statement. His money is our money. My money is my money. So, a lot of the men have raised this issue to say, why is it that it's easy to spend my own money? But when it comes to your money, you have plans and you don't involve the entire house in that plan. So, why is your money, not our money?
Well, I don't know if I can answer that question totally, because in my home, your money is our money, and my money is still our money. So I don't know if I can answer it perfectly. But I would say that, first, when you see a woman look good, investment has gone into that woman. When you see a woman, especially a woman who is married, and especially one who is married for many years, maybe a woman who has children, married for many years. See a woman, sometimes you see somebody clocking age 50, and then you see her looking like she's 25, and you are wondering, if you check deep down, that man has invested so much. So like I always say to men, your wife is a reflection of who you are. If she's looking tattered, scattered, or not well packaged, she's looking stressed and drained, it's you, really. That's the truth. Because another person may marry that man, that woman, and the woman will look way better than what that woman is looking at the moment. So talking about money, I would say that first, a lot of women spend monies they don't account for. Men seem to take major budgets like house rent, school fees, things like that, buy the car, and it's easier to say I spent money. But the woman is coming back, she sees pepper, it is cheap, she buys. She comes back, carpenter came, she does it. So at the end of the day, it looks like she's not spending. But if you put the little cobbles together, you're going to realize that she's spending so much. And when the time the man will realize that is if the woman has to travel for maybe a month or so, and then they come, sir, we need money to buy this. Uncle, after a while, he say, what are you people doing with money in this house? Then he realizes what the woman has actually been going through. So I would say to avoid such scenarios, maybe women should start putting down what they spend in the house in writing every day. It even helps you to have an idea of what has gone into the family. So that when that question comes up, you can showcase your bill of what you have taken. But overall, I don't think our money should be our money, and it's money for the house. Nobody was born to suffer. That man is your husband, but he's someone's son and he's someone's brother. And that he married you does not mean he should die premature.
All right, thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Say something.
Please.
Okay, so, and I think this is quite similar to the question of men helping the women in the kitchen, right? So the Bible tells us that the woman is the helper. So naturally, the things that a woman does, right, is to help the man. So if the woman is taking care of your children, she's actually helping you. And if you say that you can't help her, you're literally saying you can't help her to help you. That doesn't make sense. And so if the woman has money, she thinks it's her personal money, she's not understanding that she's actually a helper for the man. So God is giving her money so that she can help the man.
Oh, that's deep. That's very deep. Thank you very much for that. I'm back at you. So this one is also another issue. Taking your bath at night. Why don't men like taking their bath at night? Calm down. Calm down. Married. Calm down. We will get to you. Please, sir. Please, sir. The question is for the married men. Looks like this is a tough question. Please let the man think to answer it.
It's hygienic. No, but it's actually hygienic to have your bath after the day's work when you come back. But the truth is that I think it's a major issue with men. Some men really. And but if it's not an habit, if it's something that you're not used to, like somebody like me, I wasn't used to it. Yes. Just like Pastor White said, we're not coming here to package. We're trying to be realistic. I grew up in a face me and face you. So I don't even want to get into that bedroom in the first place. So why would I come back? I managed to have my bath in the morning. When all the spillage from the dirty ground is spilled, I'm getting back on my body. So coming back in the evening, I don't even want to get, close to that bedroom. So by the time I got married, it was part of the issue that my wife helped with. She would tell me, have you had your bath? I'll do as if I went out to the kitchen and come out back into the room. But of course, she would know. So by the time we get to Father, I need you, she would tell me, have you had your bath? The way I will run into the bedroom and come out. So by virtue of that, I started taking my bath before. So I started taking my bath. But you see, another thing it does is that it makes you have a sound sleep. No, it makes you have a sound sleep and it's hygienic. So I do it now.
Please, can I add something to that? So what he actually said and we all laughed about, I personally think is true. A woman likes it when a man smells nice. So sometimes if your check is always bouncing as a married man, maybe you are not smelling nice and we don't know how to tell you. So to start with, let's be sure why your check is always bouncing. maybe you should start by taking your bath every night. Then we can talk about the rest later. And then see what happens. Because when a man smells nice, the man is appealing already to the woman. And it makes it, you are correct, sir.
Okay, let me just ask you this. Since you just finished. Why is it that after marriage, ladies, they no longer dress fashionable? They don't dress the way we saw them before we got married to them. It's like they just lose their fashion sense, sort of. So why?
Okay, first I would say that does not apply to all women. Because I've seen some women that are so sassy. They are good. They are clean. In fact, you see someone, this one, it completes no matter the pressure around them, they are always looking packaged and complete. You see, I've not mentioned any name, but we already have an idea what I'm saying,
Like,
so we will know
like Rita.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't mention names, but we already have an idea. So some women come packaged like that, and if you're blessed with such a wife, praise the Lord, enjoy her. And if you are blessed with people like us, that will wait until we want to go out before we dress up, please also bear with us. But at the same time, I would also be speaking to the ladies. I've learned I wasn't always like this. There were times that I felt I wasn't dressing the way I should. But one day something happened very many years ago. My husband gave someone money to take me out to buy clothes. And when we got there, clothes and shoes. By the time we got there, the money could only buy one clothes and one shoe. And I felt like we wasted the money. I came back, I was complaining, I said, wait. First of all, the lady he took me to, I think, was the wrong person. Because she only buys designers, all those kind of clothes. But I had to now, for him to have made this effort, he bought me a book on how to dress. One book that has more than 1,000 ways you can combine your clothes. And I saw that, I said, okay, maybe he's actually concerned about my dressing. And then, of course, I made Rita my wardrobe manager. Since then, she has been my wardrobe manager till date. And I am submissive enough to let her tell me, see, Pastor, this one, enter. No wear am again. And I will just humbly not wear it again. Somehow, that way, I'm not there. But I'm getting better from where I used to be. So I would say to ladies, sometimes it's not convenient. Sometimes you just want to be yourself. You want to feel free at home. But, since they want us to package, we are going to try. But they should know that they will put money down for the packaging too.
In addition to that, I think also it depends on your purpose, why you went into that marriage in the first place. Yes. It depends. If you have actually structured your mind to become an housewife, then you don't get, to dress properly. I'm trying to support what she said. As per lady dressing very well. Okay, like this year, my wife is going to be 40. Does she look 40? But you see, what I want to say is this. I remember that a lot of things that we discussed before we got into marriage. One of the things my wife told me first, because I think Minister Dio mentioned something one day. He didn't know I overheard. He said, your husband is not jealous about you, the way you run around and things like that. But he doesn't know that before we got married, she made a statement. She said, look, Dele Ashaju, I am not getting married to you alone. She said, I live for God, for you, and for humanity at large. So when it comes to the humanity part of giving back to humanity, my wife likes to dress because of what she has ahead of her. So she prepares for where she's going to. So I cannot be an interference to, the way she dresses based on where she's going to. So if you have a purpose that it's not because you're getting married to become an housewife alone, then you dress properly to look good for yourself and for your husband.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Okay, Gideon, I think we're even running out of questions even self. Gideon, this one is for you. Oh yeah, that's true. If you have questions, I should just continue asking them. If you have questions, okay, Victor, let's just quickly count the number of people with questions so that we can. Victor, Love. Who else? On this side, any questions on this side? None. Okay, that's good. Okay, before I ask Gideon, let's hear Victor. Victor, your question. Speak it loud, let me tell you.
Okay, so thank you. First off, I want to say this, that we all have expectations before going to marriage. sometimes it might not be because of responsibility. The reality now is that you must get to a certain level if you have a picture of where you're actually going. You have a roadmap. So my question is, most times you ask a lady, what do you want in a man? You start describing something you can see on Play Store. Something better than me, this and all that. So my question is, if you say, I want a man that is better than me, far better than me, are you not inferring that you want a man to go for somebody that is lower than him? Put it in context. Because as I have a picture of where I'm going, and I would want to be able to get there and be able to introduce my wife to people that this is Adedeji. You don't need, I will introduce, I will be proud. So why not look good for yourself, be good for yourself? Because my own idea is that if you are not better than me, at least be at par. So if you are saying you want somebody that is better than you, why not be good? You are telling that person to come down to come down and take somebody that is far below. So the question is, why do you want something like that? So why do you expect us to stoop low? Permit me to use that word. To come and drag you up. Yeah.
Okay, they're asking you. Okay, that
Praise
question
God.
is for you. Thank you.
Okay, I'll use myself as an example. I'm in a relationship presently, and okay, so I'm in a relationship, and there are qualities I look out for in a man, and I mean realistic expectation, realistic qualities I look out for in a man. And I think same thing goes out to every ladies, and this vice versa. Men, there are qualities they look out for in a woman, and a woman, there are qualities they look out for in a man. But my own candid opinion will be that whatever qualities we are looking out for in a man, when we assess ourselves, that's vice versa. The man, the male or the female, when we assess ourselves, and I know that there are points where we have a quality, higher aspirations or something that we want, something better off than us. But I would say that whatever we are looking out for in our partner, in our intending partner, that should be the same thing that we should possess. We should complement each other. So in the sense, but there's some points where you might be in a relationship and that person might be a bit higher than you. So that's where growth comes in. But it shouldn't come from the point of complaints. Likes beget likes. So it shouldn't come from the point of complaints. If I feel that, okay, my man kind of is a bit higher, the qualities are a bit higher than me, that's where growth comes in. But I feel that it shouldn't come from that point of complaints. I think before you guys even said yes to each other, you've actually assessed yourself very well to know that, okay, fine, this is what I want, and the relationship goes further. Praise God.
Pastor IT, do you want to chime in?
Okay, so I want to say that Victor said, why do women always feel that a man better than them should come? I would say because he is also expecting to meet a woman higher than him or at his level. That's the same reason. He's not looking for a woman that is low. That's the same reason the woman is not looking for a man that is low. So we actually both have expectations. He said either a woman at his level or higher than him. So he's actually doing the same thing the woman is doing. So bottom line, we all ask for about the same thing. But what I always say is, there are some things that nobody else can give to you. So why some people struggle is because they look up to people to give them what they should give themselves. And that's why you hear a man saying, the man must be able to cook, must be able to wash, must have a PhD, must be a branch manager. Branch managers don't get home at 6 p.m. So why are you wanting to marry a branch manager and you are expecting that the woman will still do your laundries? Some of these people with what they handle, commissioners sometimes they are not in their house for more than 10 days in a month, but they are married. And you want to marry a commissioner, but you want your wife to be home always, to do your laundry, prepare your food, and always be the one to serve your meal. The truth is, some of the big women we see up there, they can't remember the last time they served their husband's meal. Not because they don't want to, but because traveling will not allow them. That's why I have deep respect for men who are married to successful women, because they put so much on the table to achieve that. And most times, they are at the back end, behind the scene, and they never really talk about it. So I would say have healthy expectations, and then create an enabling environment for that expectation to be met. That is, I want to be married to a president. I begin to prepare myself to be the wife of a president. What are the kinds of things the wife of a president should do? What are the qualities she should have? And I begin to train myself for that because I am going to get married to a president. I think it's that simple.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. You have a question? Okay. Martins.
Good morning. My name is Martins. Sometime I received a message from WhatsApp group. When I read through that message, what was written there, I don't read lengthy message, but I don't know what pushed me to read that particular message. So I was just following the story. So now, the story is all about a person that has established, as in, help a lady to grow up. And to some extent, the lady's just like, I'm not interested. To me, na bad market. Before tell me, if I want do one, I go do one freely. But at this stage, na bad market. You use my head. So what will you say concerning that situation?
Sorry, what are you asking?
I think you want to say something.
Well, in the first place, I mean, the lady didn't force you to, help her to, which you see, lady didn't force you to help her to grow into that, particular stage or that level. Or was there an agreement in the first place that you send me to school or you get me established and then I will get married to you? I'm trying to get your question clearly.
According to the message,
okay,
the lady started complaining.
About what?
WhatsApp group, I don't know.
Yeah, about what? Complaining about what? Complaining about what?
The lady started complaining about the care of the man. I don't know. Is it new to you? I received it on my phone. I thought it's one of the flowers and ties and this thing. So I received it in my phone. The lady started complaining that the love, the care, and everything he shows to his family is too much. I was like, who not like better thing? I keep reading. When I get to the center of the message, that's when I understand what is happening. The lady now told the guy all this while he didn't love him. That is where the bad market comes in. They were in a relationship.
Okay, I would say that first of all, until you are married, any investment you're making in the life of a man or a woman is free gift of nature. Whether sex, whether money, whether you join money to collect accommodation, until you are legally married, it is free gift. SOS, as in CSR, that's what you are doing. Why am I saying that? Because sometimes it ends in marriage, but sometimes it doesn't. So the woman may even be doing you a favor to let you go. Because the truth is, if she marries you out of sympathy, you are still going to hear it inside that marriage. So if she's tired, maybe she has seen something better, she doesn't want anymore, she shouldn't consider marrying you because of what she has got or what you have invested. That's why in the first place, you should give not expecting anything in return. It's only the one you are doing inside marriage that you say you are doing for yourself because both of you have become one. Until then, CSR, Neon.
Where is it?
Okay. Should we be stingy?
No, see, that's not being stingy. That's why I said initially. There wasn't an agreement. There was no agreement between both of them. So they were in a relationship. There was no agreement.
You feel like giving the gift.
So it's just a form of kindness. Simple.
Let's hear love. After love.
Okay, Pastor Ite, my question is to you. So what do married women do or don't do that makes their husband cheat? So, Bradley, what do wives do or don't do that makes men look out for, start looking for young girls outside? Why do they cheat?
He said, what do the wives do that don't do that make their husband decide to consider side chicks? Sir? She asked you actually.
Okay, let me answer first so that he would answer from the perspective of a man. So I would say that Truth is, some men, they can't just help it. As a single, they don't even know how to hold body. So how much more when they are married? When something has become a habit, you are single. You don't even have the opportunity all the time. You can't control it. So by the time you now get married, when it has become a habit, you have been configured. How then will you cope with the temptation? That's what I'm saying. For some men, it's given. But for some men, they fall into temptation because of so many things that happens around them. One is, if a man is not open enough, or the wife has made it such that the man cannot talk to her, he may be going through some level of pressure, but he's not talking to her. And that's why I always say that the way you handle the first mistake a man makes determines how many more of his mistakes he will share with you. So sometimes a woman is not making the home conducive enough. I actually have a life example I was sharing with a couple I was counseling yesterday. And I was telling them, I said, that lady, from time, I had been telling her, you're making your home very uncomfortable for this man. You are a very organized person, very perfect. But the man likes his things scattered and everywhere. But for some reasons, he's not able to keep up with your own, the way you want the home to be, everything. And then the man comes into the house and he's walking like he's walking on broken bottles. It's a matter of time. He will seek solace elsewhere. So I would say for a woman, even though you can't control it in total, he's going to tell us how, but I would say as much as possible, do your part. Make the home conducive enough for the man to be happy to return. And then as much as possible, also don't fail in your obligations, understanding that when you are hungry, you see yam, you feel like eating. It's long. You see bolly, you feel like eating. You see bread, you feel like it because you are hungry. But when you are not hungry, it's easier to overcome some of these things. But I don't think that ultimately a woman can actually stop a man who really, really wants to cheat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, it's discipline. It's discipline. Even if, in quote, your wife satisfies you very well, if you have that kind of tendency that Pastor Whitey just described, you will still go out. Bible says, he that commits adultery lacks understanding. Job said, I have made a covenant with my eye, not to think upon a maid. So it has to be a self-discovery thing. Why do I want to go and do this? Also, openness. You need to talk to your wife. Me and my wife, we have some funny discussions. You know, I remember one time she asked me, she said, how big do you like them? I said, I don't understand you. You know, so we talk. You know, we talk. Sometimes she asks me, do you like this? So you need to talk with your wife. So when you talk with your wife, some of these things would not come to play.
Okay, all right, thank you. Jack, after Jack, we'll move to the other side.
Good morning. Good morning. My question is, why do people say, I did this to you because I love you. I hurt you because I love you. You will do something to somebody and then you end up saying, I did it because I love you. Like, I don't understand. I felt you never loved me before. So I want to know why.
Somebody hurt you bad. Let me ask Ogechi. Because somebody hurt this man.
You see, what I think this is that scripture says love does no ill. So the person lacks understanding in the first place, and the person does not have love, and the person does not love. It's simple.
Okay, to add to that, just like Pastor said, he said that lack of understanding, then secondly, lack of knowledge of that particular thing. Then thirdly, I think there's a point where you get to say, I hurt you because I love you. If it gets consistent, then there's an issue. But there's an issue, big time issue. But first of all, I think it's lack of knowledge or lack of understanding. Praise God.
All right. Good morning, church. My name is Buchi, and I've been married for 27 years. That's almost double my president's number of years. I think I just raised my hand to say something based on what my sister, the single lady who is in a relationship, said. When you are having your expectations, please don't make it so high. Make it achievable, things that can be achieved. And I think in church, most times we spiritualize a lot of things, and the Bible says the Bible did not say. And sorry to say, with all respect to my honorable daddy here, Dr. Chris Williams, who is an expert in love and relationship. So I don't think that he knows much and he tells us much. I remember when we were about to get married, we did several months of counseling. One day, they gave us exam, write the things you will do for your wife, do in your marriage, and do all that. And people, they wrote foolscap sheet. When she's coming back from the market, I will go and carry the basket from her head, and I will lift her up, and I will do this, and I will do that. And I just wrote little thing. And the man scored me very low. I scored them because they have written the fairy tale stuff. And sorry to say that most of those marriages, they packed up. And we are still on. Please say the things you can do. Don't get into marriage, you begin to over-expect. Because this person is coming from where you are not coming from. All right? Yesterday, they posted something in the platform of one woman we know very well. She said, men, carry your wives on your back, roll them and all that. And at the end of the day, I was talking with my wife in the house. I said, now, look at this. Look at how my day had been. I got up in the morning, my daughter's school fees settled. After that, the car packed up, I went to fix it. After that, we need to take care of the home. At the end of the day, I spent about 30K today. The thing is hitting my head. And then somebody now said, carry your wife and roll her. Now, what it should be that now you see me, I have come back and I'm sitting down. Please come to me. Use your natural endowments. Come to me. Romance me. Man, I want to be romanced.
Praise the Lord. So I'll just take it from where she ended. I will just say that be the best, and expect the best, and be the best. So don't just expect the best, be the best. For some people, you know you are in the wrong relationship. Love the person enough to let the person go. Because that way you'll be proving how much you love yourself eventually. That's for someone who is single and in a relationship that is parasitic. And then I would say this also to anyone who is even already married, be it a lady or a man. Sometimes why you're struggling in your home is because you think you're perfect and the other person is the fault. So, but if we are all open to learning, new learnings, new teachings. I and my husband paid for a program last weekend, and I was telling a couple I was counseling yesterday, I said, for as much as I know, we are not having issues in our marriage. But we paid for a couples program last weekend, 30,000 naira, not because we had too much money, but because there is a place we want to get to in marriage that we think we need to learn more. So there is always room for learning. Some of the people who do terribly in marriage are those who think that there's nothing more to learn. So if you're a young person, even I've heard something like, I'm a marriage counselor. You know, things like that. Somebody's at the counseling table and he's telling you, I'm a marriage counselor and I'm this. If some people are good at teaching, but they don't know how to apply what they are teaching. So first, open up your mind. Whether you're young, open up your mind to learning and be willing to make the other person happy. On a final note, we have royal men here. Yeah. We have Flower and Ties here, the two young people here, and then, of course, I'm here representing God's Leading Ladies. So if you're a lady in this church, you're not part of the God's Leading Ladies WhatsApp group, please, you can indicate after the service. You can walk up to me or walk up to Pastor Yemi. We can add you to that group where we discuss salient issues like this. Same thing for royal men. You can walk up to him or walk up to the anchor as well so that you can be added to that group. And then if you're single, you want to mingle with singles, find out what's happening and how to prepare and get proper training for marriage. Two places you can be at. The Flowers and Ties, the platform we have for young people preparing for marriage. And then we have a school of marriage, Marital Bliss Academy. As a matter of fact, if you've not been to that school, then I think you are not really serious about your marital destiny, because there are so many things you're going to be learning there. After the service, pick up forms for that school if you are interested. So this program today is powered by these 4 different bodies.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, can we appreciate our guests? Thank you very much.